Hello guys, this is Nicholas again, as usual making a vlog for Wednesday morning. This time around my vlog is going to be a little shorter because real life ensued and I have a lot of things to do this week and next week too, so yeah, I might not pull out a longer vlog in a while. So yeah, don't expect this vlog to take over 20 minutes of your time. So, as I said, real life ensued. A relative of mine passed away recently, so yeah, that's the sad part. I have to go to a funeral this Sunday, and I'm gonna have to write a text. Yeah, it's gonna be very emotional. I also have schoolwork, which can be long to do, but thankfully it's not horribly long this time around. Long story short, real life goes first, my blog goes second. This time I'm sorry, but that's how it goes. What else can I do? Someone passed away? My blog goes second this time. I'm sorry. Anyway, December is coming. You all know what's in December, right? Those goddamn Christmas songs. No, I mean Christmas, yes. December on Christmas, right? Yeah. Do you celebrate Christmas? Yes? No? Doesn't matter. I really like December, not just because it's winter. Actually, I'm not a fan of winter. I always tend to catch a cold. What I like to do, usually on December, is listen to music. I listen to any music on December, especially if it's an anti-Christmas song. Because I hate Christmas songs, just in case you didn't guess. Not just anti-Christmas song either, I mean, I can listen to just about any song, as long as it's not country. I'm not saying you have to agree with me on that. Everyone has their own way of celebrating Christmas, and I get it. That's my way. I just gather around with my family, and we all celebrate how much we hate Christmas songs. No, that's a joke. I love Christmas. I don't like the music. Then that's the thing. Aside from that, December on Planned All Along, last year it was very musical. I had reviewed Wii Music and Just Dance 3. And for Just Dance 3 I made it all in rhyme. This year, like I said, real life ensues. And at this time, I'm writing the December reviews. The problem is that I don't have enough time to make it grand and beautiful like last year. I have to resort to the old way, because I don't have another choice. Which means that it's gonna be a review of a musical game, but it's not gonna be a musical review of the game. I might have more music than usual, because I'm gonna post links to the videos of the songs that are in the game, but I'm not gonna sing. You don't wanna hear me sing. You don't. Trust me. This year I'm reviewing Rock Band 3 for the Nintendo DS. The problem is gonna be to find pictures for this, because they're pretty rare. Besides, even if I'm not gonna have musical reviews on December, I might have more musical reviews in the future. Because I have a few musical reviews planned. I have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which I'm sure I'm gonna review in 2015. There's also, I wanna do a little something musical with Super Paper Mario, but yeah, we'll see in due time, okay? That's really not important yet. So yeah, I expect Planned All Along to have more musical reviews in the future. More musical reviews. So, it's time for the overlook once again. A look back on my old reviews, and this time I'm looking at the reviews I've published in September. Oh yeah, by the way, you wanna know what I'm gonna review this Friday? Here's a hint. So, let's get started. Thrillville Off the Rails for the Nintendo DS. It's a tycoon game in which you control a guy who owns a park. You have to oversee that the park doesn't lose in quality, all while thwarting the plans of an evil corporation that wants to destroy your parks. Nope, still doesn't make sense to me. It is a fun game. It's zany, it's crazy, but it's a fun game. It's the first time I had tried to do a running gag for the entire review, which was the wait what rating machine. The machine increased its wait what rating every time something weird happened, and boy was it gonna be weird. Yeah, I still haven't used it again. I'm trying to think of a good way I could use this again, but it's not easy. Running gags, you can do them a few times, but after that you have to find a new way to use them. Maybe I could turn it into a curse word counter. I think I'm gonna do that. Trivial of the Rails. It was fun to write. I had to replay through the entire game once more. Let me in you in on a secret. When you play a game and you pay attention to the story, you'll quickly notice how weird it gets. Heck, all of the normal video game story tropes are gonna be very obvious to you after a while. Like, they became really obvious to me. Like for this one, you absolutely had to complete the story missions before you could move on to the next part. Yeah, I get it, but still. Some of those missions were rather pointless, for lack of a better word. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's crazy, but it's fun. Honestly, that applies to most of the games I'm reviewing anyway. Next! Midnight Play Pack. This game contained 5 other games, all of which were about kind of stuff you find in arcades. There was Arkanoid, bowling, pool, cards, and poker. It's kind of a fun game, but it's also rather cheap. I hate to say it this way, because it's not very nice, but yeah, it was pretty cheap. It's just a collection of 5 games. To be fair, all these games also had their modes, their achievements, their ways to play them, and it was very difficult to excel at each one of these. Heck, I hardly ever played the poker and the pool modes in this, because I sucked at them. Poker. I told you, I'm not lucky. My bad luck is so bad that usually I'm the first to get tossed out of a poker table. And this is a video game. It's not real life, it's a video game. And somehow I have the impression that the opponent characters can look at my face. I guess the song Poker Face doesn't apply to me. The card games were pretty fun though, but to be fair, they're all solitaire games. Pool, I still hate it. I've started to understand how it played, but I still hate it. Bowling. I kinda liked it though. To be fair, I prefer the bowling on my Wii. It's a lot more fun and it's a lot more realistic. It's a lot more sorta realistic. And the last one, Arkanoid, had kind of a story, but it was really strange. It had like this contest held all over town about the chance to win a boat or something, and you had to beat other players at Arkanoid and Block Breaker thing. I told you it was gonna be weird. It was kinda fun, but I don't think I've seen anyone enjoy all 5 games on that cartridge at once. Maybe there are. Maybe. I don't know, because I haven't met them, but maybe. And again, like I said, many of these games, if you wanna play them in multiplayer, you need someone else who has that game. Except that game is rare, it was cheap, so it's not very easy to find. Thus you're screwed. You can't play in multiplayer with this one. That's the problem. Thankfully, the Wi-Fi connection made this a little easier, but even then, now that it's been closed for the Nintendo DS, you're back to being screwed. That's the sad part with this. Next. How to Train Your Dragon for the Wii. The video game adaptation of the movie. Have you seen How to Train Your Dragon 2? I haven't yet. I plan on doing that soon. I kinda like the way they went with the game. It wasn't executed perfectly, but it was pretty neat. That it happened after the events of the movie. The green death, the red death, the giant dragon had been defeated. And Now Hiccup and the others were all trying to live with their dragons, trying to see how it could help their society. Actually, that's what the first episodes of the TV series Riders of Berk were about. How to make the dragons useful in a community like this. In this game, they use it for games. Yeah, they're just like Pokemon. Just use them in battle and see who wins. Of course, those dragons don't have any social importance, right? I mean, they can't accomplish tasks, right? They're just there to be used for battle. I'm not really a fan of how they did the level up thing, but I kinda liked how they all make it work together. You take care of your dragon, he likes some kinds of food, he doesn't like other kinds of food. He has 4 stats, you have to train him and unlock his next attacks. You have to participate in tournaments. That's pretty cool. There's also a lot of mini games, I kinda like that. The CGI was also pretty good for a game like this. You'd think it was just some crappy shovelware. Like Anubis 2. But no, actually it was rather decent in comparison to other games. I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, not every licensed game has to be bad. It's just very hard to find one that isn't. But when you find one that isn't, have fun with it. Because it exists. It's very possible that there's no problem with this licensed game. Aside from that, now talking about the site, the review itself, it was my first review that was 3,000 words long, but not 4,000 words long. What I mean by this is that when I write a review, I usually try to have it be between 2,000 and 3,000 words, because then I have enough place to make jokes and discuss all the elements of the game. But the problem with that is that sometimes I have too much to say for a single review, but not enough to cut it in 2 parts. What do I do then? Well, I make a 3,000 word review. I got that idea and I rolled with it. I couldn't have done it for 2,000 words, and 4,000 words would have been too long. 3,000 words worked perfectly. I did this a few more times afterwards, maybe not that often, but once in a while. And from there, I realized that it was a lot of fun to write those long reviews. At least they're not 2 parts, you know? Okay, I think I've said all I could say about this one. Whew, I had a lot to say. Next. Super Contra, or Super C. Super Contra, or Super C. In Quebec, Super C is a chain of grocery stores. No, really. Have you ever had a video game that you had at home that was so damn difficult that you couldn't beat it? Like a game so difficult, you've known some people who could actually beat it, but you couldn't. I've seen quite a few of these games. Thankfully, I'm very persistent. When something is bad, when something is hard, I try and I try and I try until I give up. I've given up on many of the bad games that I couldn't finish, such as Splatoon or Bubble Bobble. I really have to beat this one someday. Or any of the other games that were really difficult, but honestly, Super C, I was just persistent and I ended up winning. It was difficult. Super C is renowned as one of the hardest games on Nintendo. Apparently the game before it was even harder. I've heard about Contra. I had to explain all the levels and show all the bosses, cause truly they're a thing to see. Say what you want about Super C, no matter how hard it is, it's fun as hell. The bosses are really fun. They're huge, they're these huge machines, these giant beasts, from the helicopter on the first level to that thing in the final level, that thing that has like a monster head on top, a woman's head in the middle, and spider legs at the bottom. What the hell was that anyway? And it was so easy to defeat too, in comparison to the rest of that freaking level. I like Super C. If I didn't, I wouldn't have bought it again on the Virtual Console. And I like beating it again, because I did it. It's still not easy, but I did it. Thank God Konami has that 30 guys code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start! Everyone knows it. But trying to beat Contra without the code? No, that's way too difficult. Super C is fun. I still like it. I don't play it very often because I have other games to beat. But as soon as I have some free time, I'm gonna go back to it. So, I'd say that covers it all for today. I'm glad you've listened to me again. I know I can get kind of annoying with my accent. For what's awaiting on Plan All Along, as I told you, a lot of musical reviews in the future. I'm also planning a Raving Rabbids month, probably in February. I'm planning also a Sonic month in April. If I don't do them, remind me, because I really want to do those. That's it for this time. So tune in next week. I'll have more look backs on my old reviews, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. Like I told you, it was shorter, but I didn't have any other choice. Tune in next time, and goodbye, and have fun! Boy, that was corny. Bye-bye.